All right, good morning. What you're going to be working on today are the two things that you picked up yesterday. The first of which is which bullet was fired first and from where. This is, for some of you, you have already wrapped this up and gave it to me yesterday, which means then you have one thing to finish up and work on today, while the others are still wrapping up on this. Let me start first thing. If you were gone yesterday, you will find extra copies of this in the the file cabinets next to the printer. Both of these sheets are found in the middle. There are 3 file cabinets. It's found in the middle on the top shelf. So you'll just have to kind of cipher through some of the papers until you find a copy of which bullet was fired first and from where. And then the second one is creating a crime scene, which you can see back here. So those are the 2 that you'll need. All right, so the which bullet was fired first and from where. Again, what you're trying to do is, excuse me, trying to figure out the order in which the bullets were fired: first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and then again 8th and 9th. And as you're doing that, you'll be recording your information in the evidence report as to which one was fired first, and you know, did it come from the inside headed out or the outside headed in. Okay, so there's that. Now for the one that you're mostly going to be working on, that's creating a crime scene. All right, with creating a crime scene, what you're going to do is you're going to be asked to draw an actual scene showing 5 bullets or up to a maximum of 7 bullets being fired. What you'll do is you'll draw in the radial lines, you'll draw in the concentric lines, and then any of the webbing that also occurs when you have shots being fired, especially through glass. Okay? The procedures are listed right here. You want to first start by figuring out if you're going to have 5, 6, or even 7 shots going to be fired. And then you're going to begin drawing the first bullet on the window from either the outside in or the inside headed out. Example, you'll notice right here at the top of your page on page 2, it says this is the inside of the window. So if you were sitting inside your house, you are looking at the inside of the window, looking towards the street, or you could have it on the outside of the window, which is if you're sitting inside the house, it'd be on the outside, kind of headed in. All right, now what you'll then do is you're going to begin by drawing your first of them. So let's say we draw and we label this number 1. What you're going to start by doing is you will draw the radial lines coming off of it, headed off into space wherever it may be going, and you'll have your radial lines coming off of this. And you know, you can draw it however you'd like. I'm just kind of randomly drawing some things in here. Excuse me. And then you want to draw, make sure you get your webbing that comes around it. And remember, the thin part of the webbing is the part in which the bullet was fired through. And then if we were to draw this on the outside, same place. If the bullet were to come on the outside, your webbing would be much larger. You'd have much larger webbing around your bullet for number 1. And then your radial lines would match what it is that you drew on this page. A lot of people, what they like to do, just as an example, is they like to start with the inside of the window, and what they do is they set it up by figuring out the order in which the bullets are fired. And what they do is they do not draw the webbing. They completely eliminate the webbing first. All they do is they draw a circle for the bullet, they label it, and they draw the radial lines. And then what they like to do is they then, once they draw in the actual webbing that comes with it, what they do is they take this to a window. So you can take this out to the big windows in the hallway back by room 53, and they simply place this up against the window and they trace it so that you have the exact same radial lines on the back side of the paper. And once you've done that, so they look identical, because they should look identical, then they go back and they draw in the webbing around it to represent, was it fired from the inside headed out or the outside headed in. A lot of people like to do that just so that they have the matching image, so it's exactly the same. So you can do however you want, but again, you're going to have a number of bullets, anywhere between 5 of them up to 7. So what you see is the radial lines in which I'm drawing here, just to kind of give you a perspective about where they start and where they stop, to figure out which bullet was fired first, second, third, fourth, you know, the order in which they come. Okay, so that's your task for today, is to draw this, and then tomorrow when I return, we'll talk about the solving of the problem. What you'll then do is you're going to create an answer key. The answer key on the back couple pages is you're going to create which bullet was fired first, so you'll write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, how many bullets you have, and then was it fired from the inside headed out or the outside headed in. So you'll write that. If it was the inside, you'll just simply write it. And I apologize that my writing is not so great, but doing it with a MacBook Pro right now is kind of difficult. And then how would you know that the bullet was fired here? You would talk about the radial lines or the concentric lines to represent that it was the order in which it came, because it interacted. Bullet number 1 was first because it crossed the path of number 2 and number 3, continued to move on. It didn't come to the stop sign like we talked about with the car. And then you'll write down the second one that was fired, third, fourth, fifth, and all the way through until you get to bullet number 7 if you had 7 of them. Okay, so that's your task, and then tomorrow we'll play catch up. All right.